Perfect. All right. So let's get going, guys. Nice 20, 25 minutes, some quick mobility to finish up, nice cool down. All right, so let's start at the top today. We're gonna work our way down like we always do. Let's just get some neck rotation, some neck flexion extension. So take chin down to your chest. You can stand or kneel, it doesn't matter. Take your chin down to your chest, and now extend your head all the way up to the ceiling. And let's do 10 total. Try to get those cobwebs out of there. If you've been sitting at your desk all day or lifting overhead, you might be a little stiff in the neck and the upper back. So it's good to get this range of motion here. Pay attention to your ribs. So if you feel like you're lifting your head, when you lift your head up, you're extending, try not to do that. Try to make all the motion come right from your neck. Good. And now let's get some rotations from side to side. No shoulder rotation, so shoulders stay square. I'm just rotating my head from side to side. And whenever we do this, we're trying to assess ourselves. So if one side feels tighter than the other, that just tells us we got some sort of imbalance. So we want to make sure we monitor that because we don't want that to get worse, okay? So now from here, let's just give ourselves a little bit of a stretch. So you're going to rotate and then take your hand and just give yourself a nice little stretch from side to side. Just a little overpressure. And just 5 each side. Good. One more each way. All right, good. Now we're gonna, if you want to stand, yeah, you can. Either one. We're gonna start with some shoulders. So your middle finger is a pencil. You want to make the biggest possible circle that you can. So I'm gonna lift up to the ceiling. I'm gonna try to get my bicep to my ear. Lift up as high as I can. And then a lot of guys or girls are gonna start rotating out. I want you to try and keep your shoulder as close to behind you as you can. And you're going back. Slow and controlled. Rotate, lift, feel a good stretch. Rotate your hand back. Take your other hand on the ribs. Try to keep those ribs down. Let's not get motion from our spine. Let's get it all from our shoulder. And then the other direction. Rotate back. Lift. Up. Good. Big circles. Good. Up. Forward, one more, and then switch sides. Get a good rotation. Good, other side. So ribs down, reach back and around, up and over. Good. Slow and control. One more, and then change direction. Good, now feel from side to side, right? If you're lifting barbells, dumbbells, and you don't feel an imbalance, but when you do the mobility, you do, just pay attention. We don't want this to become a thing.
Like a rubber band or my shoulder.
All right, good, shake it out. Very nice. All right, now let's go to our spine, okay? We're gonna go quadruped position, hands and knees. Like we've done in the past, we're just gonna assess ourselves here. So we're gonna do cat-cow. So really try to flex your back up as far as you can. Tilt your head and then extend all the way. Go slow with this. Go slow. Really try to get your spine to end range. Extend all the way. Good. And flex all the way. Take your time into this. There's no rush here. Each time, just try to get it loaded a little bit more. We want to make sure we can do this. If it feels tight, real tight in either direction, it's a good idea to know this because we don't want to let that creep up on us and get super tight. Keep going nice and slow. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of a new one today for rotation. So you're going to stay in quadruped, but you're going to take one hand and cross it on your shoulder. And from there, I'm going to rotate my body as far as I can go, and then I'm going to reach. So cross, rotate, reach. Good. Don't let your, so I'm going to go show you, don't let your hips shift as you rotate. Try to stay square and twist. Let's do 5 each side, slow and controlled. Use your eyes to look when you're rotating. Good, reach to the ceiling. There you go. Good. Good, and then switch sides for 5. Try to feel that mid-back twisting. Reach to the ceiling as far as you can go. Nice job. Mick, your girls are much more flexible than you.
I'm 52.
Yeah.
I've had a hard life.
I mean, yeah. Ow!
Okay, cool. Now, we're going to do this next one in progression. We call this the world's greatest stretch. We're going to start with one foot in front, one knee behind. Okay? So the first step we're going to do is we're going to put our hands in front of us like this. So you start kneeling and hands go in front. Now from there, you're just going to lift your back knee off the ground and straighten your leg. Okay? So we're in this position. Now, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to work our forearms down to the ground if we can, and then come back up. So forearms down and come back up. Try to keep the knee off the ground. If you can't do that, you can put the knee on the ground, it's okay, and then work your forearms. So forearms down and come back up. We're going to do 10 of these on each side. So work your forearms down and lift. Forearms down, lift. So your back leg, you should feel a stretch in the front, and the front leg, you should feel a stretch in the hamstring and the glute. Good. Take a break. Just back out of it a little bit. Now, we're going to go back into the same position, and we're going to rotate with it. So if we want to keep our knee off the ground, that's a little more challenging. If you want to bring your knee up, it's knee down, it's less challenging. Now, we're going to rotate towards the leg that's up. So I'm going to rotate and twist. Rotate and twist. Really open yourself up here. And let's get 10. Good. And now let's go, we're going to switch sides. So our right leg's going to go forward. So back to the beginning progression. So we're in a kneeling position. We're going to put our hands in front. We're going to lift our back knee up. And then if we can do that, then we're going to move our forearms down. If we can't, we can drop our knee. And then we're going to work forearms down to the ground and back. Forearms down to the ground and back. Forearms down to the ground. Good. Let's do 10. Good. Back out of it. Take a break. Just sit back a little bit. Cool. Now let's go in our rotation. So if you can keep your knee up, keep it up. If you want to keep it down, keep it down. And we're going to rotate towards this side. Let's do 10. Good. 2 more. Good. Okay, now we're going to go into some hip rotations. So we're going to do some additions today. We're going to do a little bit of a modification of what we've done in the past, okay? So I want you to go onto your butts. You're going to put your feet at about a 45-degree angle, toes in the air, heels down. Now, we're going to be a little bit more strict today. So realize that your leg bones sit in your pelvis and it's a ball in a socket. We really want to work the hips today. So here's what's going to happen. If you feel right now you've got most of your pressure on those 2 butt cheeks, okay? The exercise we're going to do, we're going to move the hips, but I do not want you to lose pressure off the ground. So if I rotate my hips, my butt starts coming up, I'm doing it wrong. So I'm going to start bringing this knee and rotate it in, but I'm really going to fight to keep my butt cheek down on the ground. that's really going to be the hip working as opposed to the whole kind of pelvis moving. So just to show you, it's going to be a small movement, right? So my butt cheeks are down, my hands are behind me. I'm just going to start to rotate my knee in by keeping my butt on the ground. And then I'm going to switch sides. Okay, so it's a small motion. I'm literally trying to push my knees basically towards the screen right now. I'm not lifting my butt up off the ground. I'm plastering my butt and I'm just rotating my knees in. One knee at a time.
Oh gosh. What was it?
Rotate the knee in. Good, and this should feel like your hips are moving literally in the socket. It's exactly what we're doing. Okay, so now what I want you to do is this hip moves in, this hip moves out. So together, windshield wipe. Good, and then the other direction. Small motion. If your butt's coming off the ground, we don't want that. So small motion, fight the hip to go out, butt cheek to go in. And then the other side, real small, slow and control. Couple more.
Ooh, feel less.
Good. All right. Now, we've done this before. We'll go 90-90. So this isn't pigeon pose from yoga, okay? This is 90-90. So our leg is at a 90-degree angle for our knee, and our back leg is at a 90-degree angle. So don't let your hip come this way. Make sure it's back. Okay, so now we're going to do what we've done in the past. So you see the middle of my chest is over the middle of my knee. I'm up tall as I can, and I'm going to start to work towards the camera, okay? Now, I don't want your chest coming down towards your knee. I want your chest going straight ahead. You should feel a stretch in the back of your front hip. If that's really easy, take your knee and just try to really dig it into the ground in front of you. And that's going to force you to use your glute a little bit more. You can keep your hands on the ground if you need to. If that's super easy, you can lift your hands up.
Oh, okay.
Move your chest forward.
Good. Good. So you should feel it in the back of the front hip. All right, so now from there, we're going to work the back, same position. We're going to put our right hand behind, our left hand behind. We're going to start stretching backwards now. So from the side, you can see I'm squeezing my back butt cheek, and I'm leaning back, and I feel a stretch all along the front of my thigh and my hip. Lean back, stretch. Lean back, and stretch. Good. Squeeze that left butt cheek, Dave. Squeeze that guy. There you go. Good. This is a great hip opener. Opens up the hip. If you guys sit at a desk all day, this is amazing for that. Good. All right, stay in that position. We're going to do something a little different we haven't done today. So we always talk about how it's important to stretch and mobilize, but it's also important that we can strengthen in these stretched positions. So check it out. First thing that we're going to do, all I want you to think about is from this position, I'm going to think about trying to keep my knee down, lifting my ankle and foot in the air. It's going to be hard. At little, you're going to feel in your groin, you're going to feel your hip. This is really, if you start to cramp, you're doing it right. Try to lift this leg up off the ground. Try to lift it off the ground. This is really about stretching the muscle and then getting muscle activation. You're only going to be able to do it even a little bit. Good job, David. Yep, that's great. And it's going to be small. You feel like you're not going anywhere, but the muscles are really working. And this is really good for the groin, for the hip. Good, lift. And lift. Good. And lift. Good, one more. Now, this one, someone here will cramp when we do this. Don't worry, it's not a bad thing. It's just challenging. We're going to do it the back leg. The knee is going to stay down. We're going to try to lift this heel up in the air. Someone's going to cramp right here. When you're laying on the ground writhing, I'll know who cramped. So just lift that heel up. Lift.
I'm getting a good like 8 inches under there. You're getting your like.
I'm fucking my knees. Look.
Oh, it looks like your whole leg is coming up.
No.
Try to go a little more each time. Good. Now, let's try to lift the whole leg. So ankle and knee. So check it out. Yep. Somebody's glutes working. 2 more. Last one. Yep. Good. Switch sides. The reason why that's so tough is because we're not used to strengthening in a stretch position like that. This is actually what we do with a ton of our gymnasts, MMA guys, because they're getting into positions where they have to be strong at end ranges of motion. So this is super important for that type of stuff. All right, let's go to the other side now. We're going to repeat the routine. So remember, and again, remember, side to side, one side feels different than the next. You got to understand that, right? So you're going to be up tall, 90-90, chest over your front knee. Let's start rocking forward here. We'll do the same routine on this side. David, use your hands. Put your hands on the ground and let it to like prop yourself up. Yep, there you go. Good. Two more. Good. All right. Now hands behind you. Squeezing that back butt cheek and just start to lean back. So try to get all the motion from the hip. Try not to arch your back as much. Try to feel like you're kind of keeping your core engaged. And now you're moving from your hip as opposed to your lower back. And you feel just a nice hip flexor stretch or quad stretch, the whole thing. Couple more. 1, 2. Okay, cool. Now, front side, let's just try to lift this leg up off the ground. Lift and hold. Lift the whole leg and hold. Lift and hold. Lift, hold. And lift. Good. 2 more. 1, 2. Okay, good. Back leg. Knee stays down to start. Our foot just lifts off.
Also, adding extra weight. He's adding some weight. Oh, I can feel my ass. Yeah, it's like right in the right. Oh, girl. Girl.
Good. Now lift the whole leg. Lift, down. Lift, down. Lift, down. Lift. Good. 3 more. 1, 2. Uh-oh, Evelyn. She's the crapper. Good. 3. Good. Woo. All right, cool. All right, we're going to finish up quick. We're going to do a little wrists and we're going to do a little ankles. We're done, all right? So let's go quadruped again. Let's just get some wrist mobility, all right? So hands out in front of us, spread your fingers. And let's just start rock our shoulders over our wrists. Just start going, rocking back and forth. Notice if you feel something from side to side. You're doing a lot of push-ups, handstand work, overhead pressing. Want to make sure we're maintaining our wrists. Okay? Good. Now point your fingers out like I am here. And let's go side to side.
Oh, God. So much more mobility on my right side.
Good. Now point your fingers all the way in towards you. And let's rock back. So sit your butt to your heels. Good. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. All right. Now we're going to finish up with ankles. So if you have a kettlebell and you want to use it, you can here. I know David has the kettlebell. You can do it. So you're going to be in a kneeling position. If you don't, that's okay too. What you're going to do is you're going to start to work your knee over your toe. Okay. And I want you to feel a stretch in your Achilles and your calf. Again, you don't need the kettlebell. if you can also just literally take all of your body weight. Ankles are stiff and tough. So if you don't have a kettlebell or don't want to use it, just lean all of your body weight on your front leg and just kind of put some pressure on that. And you should feel a stretch in the back of the leg. And let's just hang out there. Make sure your knee is over your third toe. Don't let your knee collapse in. And let's just hang out. This is awesome for squatting. I need this. My ankles are always super stiff. Keep going. Hold this position.
My right ankle's
Try to keep your heel down on the ground. Don't let that thing cave up. Good. Switch sides. We'll do 2 sets on each side. So right leg now for me. Let's just hold that. Find that stretch position. I know it's hard to kind of think about, but if you feel like a pinchiness in the front of the ankle, try to think about stretching the back. You want it to stretch the back of your ankle rather than pinching in the front. So this is so important for squatting. If you have stiff ankles, squatting becomes very challenging. Good, let's go back to the left side. Last 2 and we're done. Oh, good. Now let's rock in and out of it. Let's get some mobility here. So rock, get a good stretch and out. Rock, let's do 10. And each time try to push it a little bit further. Like I said, the ankles are very anti-fragile. You can beat the hell out of them and not much happens. So you really got to put a lot of pressure into these guys. 2 more. 1, 2. Go ahead, switch sides. Last set. Rock in and rock out. Rock in. Good. Good. A couple more. 1.
This is a pretty good exercise.
Good. 2. All right. Cool. All right. So we started at the top. We did some neck work. We did some rotation in the mid back. We did some hip flexor. We did some glute. We did ankles. We did some wrists. So we kind of hit the whole area in about 25, 30 minutes. Good job by you guys that are on this. Having a mobility practice is huge because Mick, as we know, we don't get more loose as we get older, right?
Yeah.
Shit just gets tight. So it's good that we're doing this. And again, it's selfishly, it's nice for me to do it because it forces me to do it with you guys. But, you know, if you guys find, again, the biggest thing to pay attention to is if like your right and left shoulder feels a lot different, right and left hip feels a lot different, right or left ankle. That's what I would be super aware of, especially with you guys training CrossFit, to make sure that you're working on those asymmetries. Obviously, if something hurts, that's not good either. But if you have like right and left shoulder are very different, be aware of that. Tell the coaches so they can modify and make sure that you're paying attention to all that stuff. Use this stuff as not only mobility, but kind of a self-assessment to know, yeah, this doesn't feel the same before you get hurt, because this is the stuff that leads to injury, okay? So really good job, guys. And then, you know, we're coming back next week, right, Evelyn?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, guys, thanks for coming on. We'll see you all next week.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Take care.